What's up, dudes?
Oh,
We're
been
back.
a while.
A little bit.
We're not on Discord.
No.
No, this
IRL.
is
Person.
we're actually all
That's
fucking
where
here.
audio quality is a little higher. So we open this episode with Noxic dreaming. He's like asleep on the floor.
It's the main
Dreaming
room
of the dragon he's chasing.
Yeah. We go into his dream, and in his dream, it's Bee-Fighter footage.
Yeah. He apparently dreams in Japanese footage.
I don't know about you guys, but I dream exclusively in Japanese footage. So Noxic is dreaming about, through a bunch of wires coming out of the bottom of his head that aren't important, a bulldozer.
See, the original debate was if his head was driving it or if he was just in the cab.
Like he was attached
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the bulldozer. We had this discussion of whether or not his head was piloting it or he was
Right. Oh
piloting
yeah,
it.
because later on
and
he does.
Later on he does detach
One of
his
the
head.
spoilers is that he does attach his head to some piece of machinery.
So yeah, Noxic wakes up from this dream after dreaming of bulldozing over the Beetleborgs. Now he wakes up from the dream and says that he
And his
dreamt-
sheets are all wet.
He wakes up and he tells Vexor that he dreamt that the Beetleborgs turned bad. That is not what was happening in his
Not
dream.
even
No.
the almost
Well,
slight.
They were
And it's
still
great
fighting him
because
and he is
it's-
implicitly bad.
it's-
This probable lie that he dreamt that the Beetleborgs had turned bad, and instead of getting mad, Vexor's like, "Yeah, we could do that." And
Turn 'em bad.
he tells them
Fuck 'em
about
up.
something that had happened in one of the comics. It turned the Beetleborgs bad. He's like, "Oh, you remember such and such?"
The
and they're
bad
like,
soda.
Yeah. So they throw down this comic. From it, they do a little bit of they do like a chant. We call upon the drink. Yeah, they summon a drink, and it's in it's Mountain Dew. It's a green soda in with the Mountain Dew logo, but instead it says Fountain Don't.
Which I believe you have a nice theory to this.
I thought it was clever when the villains make an evil drink
Scotty
that turns
Don't.
people bad, and it's called Fountain Don't. I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of funny. And then Joe bought a Fountain Don't at the pizza shop in the next scene, and they were like, everyone ruined it for me by saying, oh, that's just the in-canon, in-universe. That's just their Mountain Dew is Fountain Don't. And I said, no, it'd be so much better if it was the normal drink is Fountain Dew, D-O, and the drink the villains make is Fountain Don't. But that would require creative writing skills. What they did to cause a distraction so they could swap the sodas. Yeah, they're off screen.
Oh, it's because
standing behind.
Typhus
Typhus
pulls
does
his
something
mouth
he's
Oh,
never
yeah.
done before. He opens the top of his head
and
His-
releases
his-
a-
Rips it, this
No.
time
He
he
opened it
grabbed
like a
it with his
can.
both of his hands and ripped it open.
Bees!
Yeah, we're talking like Wicker Man level bees.
Yes, everywhere. While they're swarming everywhere, everyone's running around.
Apparently everyone's allergic to bees.
Apparently everyone's allergic to bees. The villains swap the sodas. She turns green and she says like, I'm not feeling well. And she starts to run to the bathroom. And as she
I'm
does...
sorry, you misquoted. She turns green and goes, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Mr. Flabber, I don't feel so flabtastic.
I don't flab so flab. Do you smell burnt flab?
Joe runs up to the bathroom and like spins around like Taz the Tasmanian Devil. She spins around in a like Wicked Witch style tornado. Yeah, she's got the shitty wig, top hat, cape. She goes over and just starts destroying the pizza place. She apparently eats the whole pizza that she ordered.
Which we don't see at all.
We don't
No,
see
it's
Does not
implied.
happen.
She just opens up the pizza when she gets back to Zoom Comics as normal Joe, and there's one slice left, and she's like burps.
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
And she goes to the bathroom because she's like, her voice is shifting, and we're like, oh, puberty. No, she's turning back into Hyde Joe. Nano is trying to help her and seemed troubled, and Nano tried to help. This could have been a very good coming of age young woman.
Yeah, it actually, I
Like,
didn't even think about it. At
It
the time I was
really
watching
could
it,
have
but yeah, it
been a
could've.
good, like, even just metaphorical, loosely tied
Yeah,
to...
Big Nano could have thought like, oh, she's going through the change.
Yes, like...
That's not
Like,
menopause.
they could have said something about, like, you know, oh, it's okay, like, you're becoming a young woman. Like, they could have done that. It
And-
would have been it would have been probably appropriate.
It
They
probably would have helped out a few people watching the show.
Instead of that, she just turns back into her Hyde form, bursts out, and starts destroying the comic shop.
Yeah, and she
Nuts
starts
throughout
throwing
the
like
story.
Beetleborgs comics
And
around.
Yeah.
Roland's dad's like, whoa, Joe, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude.
He says, not the Beetleborgs comics. 98% of their stock is Beetleborgs. She runs off to go join the Three Baddies and basically say, like, hey, I'm bad now. The Three Baddies, or Three Little Bads, are like, we need to turn the other two bad. You need to give them this soda. And she's like, what's in it for me? And they're like, well, we'll all be bad. Like, that's the whole point.
Oh, you
She's
want like
I guess.
$5 or something?
Yeah, like, they didn't really give her it was not a good offer. It was, you get to go make your two friends also evil.
It was
that the
basically like,
extent of
look,
it.
you're a piece of shit. Don't you want your friends to also be pieces of shit?
The two boys, Drew and Roland, run off to Hillhurst, explain to Flabber what's going on, and try and get some help.
They walk into Flabber cooking some of that good deep blue right there.
He's cooking the good. He's got a giant cauldron. He's throwing random shit that apparently doesn't smell very good into it and stirring it. The boys are trying to explain the monsters and to Flabber what's going on, and they're not really getting it. Flabber eventually kind of understands and concedes, but he really needs to be cooking dinner apparently for the monsters, and the monsters are getting upset that he hasn't
thirsty.
dinner.
I mean, hungry.
Yeah.
Count Fangula pops in. He's reading a book, and he's like, "Ooh, what smells so good?" And he's like, "Oh, the children." Which I would think that episode 14 of them consistently being in the mansion would have.
They're gonna stop that gag. Joe is outside with the Three Little Bads, and they're like, hey, go inside with the soda, give it to the boys, and everything will be fine. The monsters are scared of her. She's like yelling boo at the monsters and making fun of them and being mean to them, and they're freaking out. And then she drops one of the fountain don'ts, and it spills out in front of Ghoulam, the statue monster. It spills out at Ghoulam, and Wolfgang kind of runs over to it and looks at it like, uh-oh, that's not good. She transforms back into regular Joe right in front of Flabber and the boys. And Flabber's like, what the flab is going on here? The monsters are pointing out that this glowing green fluid is flowing into Ghoulam on the floor. And Ghoulam suddenly freaks the fuck out.
Yeah, he just leaves the house.
Yes, he doesn't, like, knock anybody out, nothing. He just charges right out of the house.
His character doesn't develop at all. With the Wolfgang episode, we found out, okay, he came from something, used to be their roommate, he knew them, he's an annoying thing.
They didn't like him, they moved away, and now he's back.
This one is basically, this dude was thirsty, and there's some problems because of it.
So he runs out of the house. He grows giant for no apparent.
Well, he becomes a fucking kaiju.
Isn't it Japanese footage the entire time of him being giant?
100%.
Yes.
So they stole the footage where there's just this giant gargoyle
of a suit
dude.
we know they have.
Yes.
So this reveals an interesting thing because we've been kind of confused why there's all the Universal monsters, which are obviously US. The suit for Ghoulam must be from B-Fighter. Which I guess makes sense because it is a full suit. I wouldn't expect them to make a full suit. It's weird that he's been in so many episodes now.
Yeah.
Almost all of them, if not all of them, because of the end sequences.
Almost all of them.
Noxic and the Three Little Bads see Ghoulam grow giant in the forest. For one, first giant monster we've seen in the show. It took 14 episodes to get a Power Ranger-esque giant monster. Noxic rips his head off of his body. No, he rips it off with exposed and sparking wires out of his torso.
You would think it would be more like Android 16 and Dragon Ball Z, which was somehow more destroyed than Noxix's head.
He starts wrecking shit. And by wrecking shit, we mean
disrespect your surroundings.
When Drew and Roland see this from Hillhurst, they decide, like, we've got to go. We got to take care of this. Flabber, you sit here and do some fucking chemistry and fix Joe.
Yeah,
Flabber's like, okay, I can cook, I can also chemistry. Drew and Roland transform, which pushes our song counter up to 16. Drew and Roland try to fight Giant Ghoulam from the ground. They just start shooting at him with their normal blasters. It does jack shit.
They can't do a thing.
They call the Beetle AVs.
It's like Roland literally goes, we need the AV.
We get a cool new comic frame Beetle AV appearance transition.
It's one of the ones where they show the comic panels with all the live action stuff inside.
The actual AV footage is new, at least of the green AV. Green AV picks up a giant boulder off the side of a hill and throws it at Ghoulam.
Yeah.
Yeah, before this, he's only ever, like, slam dunked opponents.
Yeah, like, I'm really curious because I feel like the B-Fighter footage has so much more of a fight between the AVs and Giant Ghoulam. Because
it had to have.
Yeah, because we see very little of this.
It's literally just them throwing the rock.
It's a few seconds.
They throw the rock, and then during all of this, Flabber is trying to cure Joe, and he's just like throwing different
She's rolled up in
her.
a carpet at this point.
Yeah. As her hide form, she changes back, He undoes the carpet, sprays a bunch of different stuff on her like 2 or 3 times,
You know,
and
like
then
some cans of Raid.
a bug spray thing. He turns around and immediately just grabs a pink vial that says antidote on it.
And goes, oh, you can take a bunch of this.
Yeah, obviously that works because the next scene we see is her flying in her
Of course
Ladybug
it works.
AV.
Cameron,
I'd
it says
say
fucking antidote
I
on the
know.
goddamn beaker.
She flies in, and Joe pops in her AV. It looks like they just obliterate Ghoulam.
Yeah,
But what happens is we just see Noxic's head, I guess, fly back to him. The 3 little bads just run off, and Ghoulam apparently shrinks down, but we don't see that because
We don't see shit.
I know.
He just walks the fuck back into
He's
Hillhurst
just
like,
back in Hillhurst.
and then just stands in
And
his spot.
I assume in the Beefighter footage,
dude,
he was the monster of the week and got destroyed, and that was the end of it, and he blew up at the end of the episode.
And then we hijacked
And
the
then-
costume.
yeah, we hijacked
In
the costume
American
for the
version, they
whole
went,
goddamn
well, that's
season.
like possibly sad.
The next scene after them blowing up Ghoulam is just them back in Hillhurst talking about what happened.
Chilling out, having a couple brewskis.
Flabber's still making food in that giant cauldron, which is now apparently in the front of the house or in like the front entryway.
Yeah, it was in the library.
Yes, the monsters are like begging for dinner. So Flabber, one by one, shoves them in a fucking closet.
Yeah.
Like, he goes like, I'll just wait in here, and literally kicks them into a closet with one another. And the kids ask, like, what is it? It smells horrible.
Yeah, it smells like skunk.
Yeah, that's where that
which
came from.
It
Big
looks like
vat
the
of
Nick slime.
Green Nickelodeon slime. That's pretty much the end of the episode.
Yeah.
No, it
that-
is.
that's
It is
the
the
end.
end of the
Yeah.
episode.
They don't really add anything
They go,
this
no.
episode.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah, they all
Freeze
laugh.
frame. I genuinely wish they would have kept the Monsterella stuff and just had like closing
Yes.
episodes of her show and stuff. Like that would have been so much.
Such a good opportunity.
I am
So
so,
much cooler.
hoping that she pops up again, and I am so confident she never will.
The monsters could have
same.
just had a gig on her show, and it would have
Yes.
added this whole new dynamic and a lot more interest and
And
freshness.
it also would have kept one of
arguably
the best characters on the show.
Yeah.
yeah, definitely the best supporting character we've ever had.
Yeah.
So far, at least.
Because
So-
she actually mattered to any of them.
Yeah.
They actually gave a shit about her. And then the writers went, cool. Fuck you.
Yeah.
We missed the part where Roland's dad gets a rubber duck up his ass.
Joe, during the scuffle in Zoom Comics, Joe throws Roland's dad across the room, and he sits on a rubber duck, and for a second, the rubber duck disappears.
I swear to God, whenever he stands up, it's gone.